and I'm going to say, we're back.
We're back.
But this isn't necessarily a Tech Taste Daily episode.
A strange thing has happened where out of nowhere, Dwan got the butterflies before our next broadcast.
And that never happened.
Never.
Well, not never, but it rarely happens.
Yeah.
And I was recalling a time that it happened back in the day.
It reminded you of that one time.
Like Time Upon a Once.
Yep.
When hip-hop was about more than the 40s and the blunts. Anyway, I started telling the story. He's like, are you recording? And I was like, no, I'm not. I was just going to tell you some shit.
You guys got to hear this.
Now I'm going to tell you guys the story, too. Normally, story time happens on the Jay and Twan channel, where we don't try to have any branding or format or anything.
But there's nothing scandalous in this story.
Nothing scandalous, and this was actually a tech event.
A regular professional event.
Yes, that this guy made very stressful for me. So I was doing this road show for Microsoft. It was, do you remember what it was called? It was the it was the Airlift something.
The big deal.
It was for visualstudio.net, some programmer stuff. And basically what we were doing is we were flying around the country to all of the different colleges and whatnot, and basically giving the computer science students a free copy of Visual Studio, Microsoft's integrated development environment, or IDE. Yeah, back when it was very expensive.
Very new.
So we did 27 cities in 9 weeks. That's 3 cities a week, 3 colleges a week with rowdy college students. So we'd give them pizza. We bought hundreds of pizzas and Mountain Dew and other caffeinated beverages and whatnot.
It's like the Red Bull.
Yeah. Well, no, it wasn't that. There might have been a Red Bull sponsor.
I guess Mountain Dew it's either Mountain Dew or Red Bull. And
Yeah,
college kids like to do the do.
Doing the do. So I had been doing the do for a few weeks already, and I've been to several colleges and done the same speech. So I wasn't nervous about the speech or anything. I wasn't nervous about a bunch of college kids. I was just doing my job, doing the same thing I'd done, and at that point probably 10, 12 cities already.
Right.
And I had some time before I went on stage, and I was just killing time, and I called my homie.
I think I called you.
Did you call me?
I think I called you.
Okay.
Which makes it even worse.
And so, yeah, I wasn't doing shit. I was just waiting to go on.
Minding your own
And
business.
so I was like, yeah, I got some time to kill. I'll talk to the homie. And he's like, hey, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, I'm just chilling backstage, about to do this same old presentation on Ain't No Thing. And he's like, did you ask me how many people it was?
I did, yes.
And he's like, oh, yeah, how many people are there going to be there? And I was like, oh, now that you mention it, I think this is the biggest one I've done so far. This one's going to have 650 people. And Jay was like, actually, that was the wrong button. He said,
That is. I was shocked.
He's like, wow.
That's
And at that time, what did you say? The biggest show you had done at that time was what?
1,000 people.
Like 1,000 people. It's like, that's almost 1,000. That's like more than halfway there to 1,000 people. And I was like, yeah, the last one was 60 people, 90 people or something like that. But it's the same speech. And he's like, but that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
The biggest one I did was 1,000 people. And I was nervous as fuck. Aren't you nervous? Are you nervous? And I was like, no, I'm good. And then I went and peeked through the curtain. Now, mind you, 650 people. I can't remember what college this was now. But whatever place this was, there were so many people they did in their auditorium. And the auditorium was big enough that it had the regular level, and then it had the what do you call it, the mezzanine level up top, right? And so it was packed at the bottom, and it was packed at the top, and they're college kids. They're eating pizza and drinking Mountain Dew and shit. And so, unfortunately, there's a technical issue. AV issue, like the microphones aren't working, or something's not working. I don't remember what it was. I think it was the microphones. Not the microphones, but the speakers. The microphone wasn't going out of the speakers. And so at this point, I'm talking to Jamal on the phone. Nothing was wrong when you called, or probably wouldn't have answered. But everything was cool. They were doing their thing, and I was about to walk out there, or they're going to introduce me, and I was going to walk out. And then I'm talking to Jay, and he's like, "That's a lot of people."
I was shocked when
aren't you nervous?
I thought your biggest show would be like 100 people.
It was to that point. It was like 90 up to that
100
point.
people. That's
650.
Oh, that's so many people.
I wasn't thinking about it until you said something. At the time, I was like, whatever. Yeah, I'm just gonna go do the same thing I did day before yesterday in Wisconsin or wherever the hell I was.
And I was like, how long do you have to talk for?
It was like 2 hours.
2 hours?
Yeah.
I get up there for 5 minutes and do a little rap. That's nothing compared to what you had to do. I was
yeah, so anyway, while I'm talking to him, I peek out there and they're getting all rowdy, and I'm like, holy shit. I never really seen so many people looking at me before.
I remember this because not only was I surprised at how big the show was, but I was surprised that you were just so casual about it.
Well, because I hadn't really thought about it until you said something.
You're like answering your phone like, hey, what's up? 5 or 10 minutes. I'm like, really? You're not. I wouldn't answer the phone.
See, again, what you got to understand is I had done the same 2-hour speech like 10 or 12 times every other day for the past 2 or 3 weeks already. And so in my mind, I'm like, I'm just doing the same shit again. I hope they don't ask those same stupid questions. I hope this is more fun than the last one. If it's more people, maybe there'll be more cool people here or whatever. And then I talk to this guy, and as I'm talking to him and peeking out there and looking at him for the first time and seeing him getting all rowdy and restless and stuff, and I'm looking over at the AV guy with this panicked look on his face, like shaking his head at me. Maybe it was the guy behind. I don't know. I don't know who was shaking his head at, but I'm like, what's wrong? And he's like, the PA system's not working or whatever. And this is when I'm talking to Jamal, all nervous now. And I was like, dude, I gotta go. This shit's not working. And they want me to go out there. The guy's like, go out there and say something. Tell them we're gonna be a few minutes. And I was like, me? Where's the guy that's supposed to go out there and introduce the thing? The guy that's sponsoring this whole program. The guy that's supposed to introduce me. Oh, he's not here yet. Like, we're supposed to be on right now. Where's he at? Like, I don't know if he wasn't there or he didn't want to do it or he was trying to help with the PA system or what, but all of a sudden it falls to me to go out here and calm these rowdy college students down.
Hey.
And I'm like, what am I have my speech that I do.
That's exactly.
My speech that I've done, the same speech that I've done every other day at every other college for the past like 3 weeks now.
For those of you who don't get this, just think when you were in the 6th grade and you had to do a speech in front of your usually little 20 people in your classroom, how nervous you were. And you had to talk for 2 minutes. All right?
See, now, I'm not a rapper.
And that's the other thing. They're like, go freestyle.
Just go do some stuff.
Go do it. Go be a stand-up
I'm
comedian.
the DJ. I'm the producer. I am not the rapper. That's this guy. So when they told me to go out there and basically freestyle and do what I don't do, I mean, that's not what they pay me for. Anyway, I'm starting to get panicky just thinking about it, dude. Like, that shit freaked me the fuck out. And so anyway, long story short story long now. I walked out there. And I grabbed some of the stuff. At the end of these shows, I give away some T-shirts and frisbees or whatever swag, something we all get, that Microsoft gave us to pass out to these college students to make them be like, yeah, Microsoft is a shit. I'm going to use Visual Studio instead of whatever else I was using.
Good call.
Right? So I go out there with some of that shit, and I think I kind of blacked out because I remember throwing frisbees and stuff, but I said something and they all cheered and laughed. I think I told a joke.
You did? Oh,
I didn't tell you because I don't remember, dude.
That's risky, man.
I'm drawing a total blank right now, but I went out there and I
did do a stand-up routine.
Dude, I'm trying to tell you the story and I don't remember. I totally blacked out.
What's the deal with airplanes?
I think I had some canned, what do you call them?
One-liners?
What do you call them from the mystery method and whatnot? gambits.
Oh, right. Some routines. Yes.
I had some canned shit that I typically do when I'm doing presentations. I never do stand up at the beginning or anything like that.
Right.
But you know, when you're doing a presentation or whatever, you got to work in some humor, some corny jokes, or just some misdirection, distractions to make them say what and start paying attention again. So I don't remember what I did, but I remember I did something like that, and they laughed and cheered. I threw some stuff out, but dude, as I'm telling you about it right now, I'm realizing I totally blacked out.
You went out there and you were like, "Are you ready to rock? Who wants a t-shirt?"
I know I didn't say that. But something to that effect.
That one movie where the dude goes out and they're like, "Go out there," and he starts saying stuff, and he's looking to these reggae guys who he just smoked a bunch of weed with, and they're
Fortunately,
like,
I had not done that.
they're like, "Go ahead, they're like, you know, they're giving him hints," and he's like, "What? Forest Orange 7?"
Oh no. Hopefully I did better than that.
And then he looks back and he goes,
"Oh no, I remember that. What movie was that?"
Oh man, I can't remember. It was the big fat dude.
Anyway, so
Sorry.
don't be nervous, I guess, is the moral of the story.
So now do you feel loosened up?
No, that was totally the wrong thing to do. I'm much more nervous now than I was before.
Supposed to make you
So
less
that
nervous.
story got me all anxious and shit. I remember everything up to the point that I walked out onto the stage to tell jokes or whatever, and I literally don't remember anything else after that. It's like kind of freaking me out right now because I wanted to tell you the story, and then I couldn't tell you the story, and I started thinking about it, and I was like, I don't remember what city I was in. I don't remember what I did after that. I don't remember how I got back to the hotel or what hotel I was staying in. I remember pretty much every other hotel I stayed at and everything else. But I remember the whole conversation with you, and I remember going from not being nervous to being freaked out. And I remember I walked out on the stage, and I vaguely remember throwing stuff.
You're like,
I don't remember anything else.
it is a lot of people. Why am I not nervous?
Right? And you're like, "Oh, dude, I'm sorry." It's like, yeah, fuck you, man.
And then on top of that,
And then they're like, "Go out there right now and do some shit that you weren't planning on doing." What? Me? Why me? You're the talking guy.
you went out there and said some baller shit.
Oh man,
Because
I
college
literally don't
kids
remember what
are
I said.
so finicky.
Maybe they just wanted the free shit.
Nah, dude.
Maybe I told a joke real quick and I was like, "Free shit."
You must have done something good because college kids are the worst. You hear about these comedians that won't do college shows anymore.
No.
Yeah, because of all the wokeness and the Me Too and all this. You can't tell no jokes.
Well, you know, that was before all that.
Well, college kids have always
Man.
been bad.
Let's put this shit to rest. I need a drink now.
That was awesome.
You got me all stressed out.
Anyway, so hope you enjoyed the story.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the story because that shit stressed me out. It's only 650 people, but anyway, yeah.
That's more of a Jay and Twan story, but we brought it to you on Tech Taste Daily.
Well, because it was a .NET Roadshow.
Yeah, it was-
Because I was doing programmer shit.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
That makes it technical.
yeah, it was technically nerve-wracking. Anyway, so yeah, that's all I have to say about that because you probably didn't hear that. He said, "I have spoken."
Oh, I got a new one for you.
Oh, you got a new one?
Yeah.
Work. Okay, anyway, that's it for that story, y'all. That is the story of Twan's first big show, 650 people, which I wasn't thinking nothing of until my friend here reminded me that was a lot of people
You go talk in front of 600 people and see how you feel.
for 2 hours.
For real. Oh, shit.
Actually, it wasn't the 2 hours. 2 hours, that was the easy part. It was that 5 minutes of unscripted shit when they pushed me out there like, "Go talk to him." Who, me? Anyway.
Nerve-wracking.
Tech Taste Daily.
Peace, y'all. See, now we got 5.
Taste Daily.
Now we got 5 more episodes.
That one still works. Ow.